Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Canadian Football Central. CFL content for the fans, by the fans. We got another signing for the Edmonton Elks as Joe Robustelli is going to be signing with Edmonton. Now, he has played 2 years in the CFL. He played with Saskatchewan for both of those. He's 28 years old, from Stamford, Connecticut. Went to Tusculum College. I may have mispronounced that. My apologies if I did. And firstly, Rick, do we know the term? This deal? Like, do you know how long this is?
As of right now, I don't. I'm just trying to double check to see if it's in a 3-down.
If it is known by the time that we put this out, you might see it in the title. We're recording these in advance because of free agency happening on Tuesday. And yeah, so he was a decent depth piece for the Riders. The Riders' receiving core was obnoxiously stacked this past year, and one of the big reasons why, even when injuries happened, they were still able to be so productive. This past year, he had 59 targets for 38 receptions in 12 games that he dressed for, 544 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns with an average of 14.3, and his longest being a 48-yard reception. And so he had done very, very well. So I think this is... with Edmonton, I thought that they needed to do a bit more for the receiver core. Obviously, Austin Mack was brought in. You can check out our video that we did on that. And so I think that this is a nice pickup. I'm curious to see if they decide to do a bit more. There still are some guys in the market as of when we're recording this that are available. But I think Robustelli is a decent addition. And I think him being in Edmonton, I think he might get a bigger role as a receiver than he saw in Saskatchewan. So I think that will certainly give him a good opportunity. But what do you think about this move, Rick?
So are you trying to say that Ed Harvey needs to go spend more of Ben Stein's money? That TV show, Win Ben Stein's Money.
Does he need to throw it? I don't know. Maybe not. We'll see. I'm I just thought that was something where they needed to get some more people. But Robustelli is going to be going in from Saskatchewan over to Edmonton. I thought that he looked very good in Saskatchewan.
My question is, and again, this isn't to any players are out there or anything like that. I'm not trying to put anyone down or anything. I'm curious to see if these receivers that were in Saskatchewan, because their big name players were injured, if these are going to be one-hit wonders or if they're actually going to do well this year.
Yeah. I think there's some decent potential here. As again, I thought that even if we just kind of look at this is something like from Trevor Harris. Trevor Harris compared Robustelli to former CFL All-Star receiver Greg Ellingson during training camp last year. Ellingson, he had played with Harris for a couple seasons in Ottawa as well as Edmonton. Greg Ellingson had done really decent. And Ellingson was one of those things where he wasn't usually much of a deep ball receiver. He was just a very, very consistent kind of possession receiver, and there always is a spot for that. I imagine a guy like Austin Mack is probably going to be a bit more of a deep ball receiver in Edmonton in terms of that group, especially with Fajardo. But it's good to see in the sense of because guys that have done well under Fajardo are kind of similarly done well under Trevor Harris. And so I think that means that Robustelli will probably just kind of have, there might be a little bit of that natural chemistry, even though we haven't seen it with Cody Fajardo. But even if we took a look at his college days, on Football Database, it doesn't have his games played listed, but he had 475 yards on 20 receptions, so an average of 23.75, did very, very well. In just his 1 year that they have listed here, him playing D2 for Tusculum College. Again, my apologies if I'm mispronouncing that. I probably am. I'm just not as familiar with the college, but yeah, he's a relatively tall guy, able to kind of get his hands around and kind of bring that ball in and move and keep the play moving forward. So I think this is a good move for the Elks. Is there anything else you got there, Rick?
No, sir.
All right, thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. Make sure you guys leave a like, share it around, and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, if you guys haven't, make sure you guys join our Discord. Link in the description below to our Discord, where we discuss all things CFL, NHL, all sorts of sports stuff, as well as the 2026 Milan Olympics in Italy. Been discussing a bit of that recently, so check it out. We'll see you guys next time.